Sometimes life knocks you down so hard that all that's left is you on the ground and a simple question you can ask. Was it really worth all that effort? There was a time when I thought if I just stayed positive enough, everything would work out one day. But later I realized no, things don't always work out. And maybe that's the biggest lesson I've learned in my life. Hello, I'm Raiden and welcome to the Peak Pages channel. This is where, with every video, we take one step forward to become better people. In the previous part of The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, we learned how excessive worrying can keep us away from what really matters. But in this part, we're going a layer deeper, where the author says that a good life isn't the result of caring less, but of caring about the right things. The author says life is like a game with limited resources. You only have a certain finite number of cares that you can genuinely spend and allocate. Most of us waste them all on the wrong people and meaningless goals. Like when you spend hours arguing with a stranger in the comments or try to please everyone while you're burning out yourself. Does it really matter whether the person you're arguing with in the comments is right or wrong? Just think about it for a moment. Why does everything have to matter to us, really? The truth is, you can't. You only truly grow and develop when you genuinely learn what truly shouldn't matter to you at all. And that might be the hardest part of growing up. Mark has a quote that I love. Be responsible for your life even if it wasn't your fault. The first time I read it, I actually felt angrier. How can I be responsible for something that wasn't my fault? But then I realized he doesn't mean you should blame yourself, but that you're the only one who can fix it. That's honestly a really true statement. You're the only one who can fix your life. Life is a series of choices. Even the choice to stay a victim or to grow. And sometimes the only difference between a strong person and someone who's stuck is that the strong one decides to take responsibility. Now, I have a question for you. When was the last time you took responsibility for a mistake, even if it wasn't your fault? Have you ever done that at all? Please write it for me in the comments. Maybe your answer will inspire someone else. There's a golden part in the book that says success comes from repeating your failures, not avoiding them. I once had a big project that I was working on with all my strength, but it failed. At that time, I felt like the world had ended. There was nothing left for me to do. But now when I look back, I see that failure was the path that led me to be here talking to you today. And this is exactly the point the author makes. If you don't have the courage to fail, you won't have the courage to grow either. Once I was talking to one of my friends. He told me that he's afraid of making mistakes. I looked at him in surprise and said, well, the first step is actually making that mistake. The irony is that no one has ever succeeded by taking the right path from the start. Everyone started off on the wrong path, failed, learned from their failures, and then created the right path. One of the hardest things in the world is to say no. But every time you say no to something, you're actually saying yes to something more important. Setting boundaries isn't selfish. It's respecting your own energy. The author has an awesome quote in this book. People who are afraid to say no are usually afraid of themselves too. For a while, whenever someone asked me for something, even when I was tired, I would say okay. But later I realized that every time I didn't say no, I was losing a piece of myself. Until one day, I finally learned how to say no. And the feeling of freedom started exactly from that moment. What about you? When was the last time you said no to something that was exhausting you? Go down and write it. Because this is one of those experiences that everyone needs to learn. Mark talks about death, but not to scare you. He says if you truly understand that one day you're going to die, that's when you actually learn how to live. As long as you think you always have time, you end up wasting it. But when you accept death, every moment of your life becomes meaningful. Letting go of reality means knowing what is truly worth your attention. It's not about not caring about anything, but about only caring for things that are meaningful and important. It's a kind of conscious choice between the chaos of the outside world and inner peace. I know the world is full of talk and noise, but sometimes you just need to take a step back. See the world from a wider perspective. Take a deep breath and say, no, I don't want everything. I only want the things that matter to me. The book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, teaches you to be your true self. To be someone who accepts that pain exists but doesn't let pain determine the direction of their life. If you haven't seen the first part of this video, make sure to check it out. We explained from the beginning why not everything should matter to you. I've put the link for you in the description. If you learned something from this video, I'd really appreciate it if you like, subscribe, and hit that bell below so we can grow together one step at a time every week. In the end, just remember that strong people aren't those who aren't afraid of anything. They're the ones who live with their fears but still keep smiling. I'm Radin, and this is the Peak Pages channel. I'm really glad you stayed with me until the end of this video. Until the next video, goodbye.